Hey guys, this is Guina and Pam again. Today our topic is going to be about intermittent fasting. This is a relatively new concept and it's basically fasting for a long period of time and then eating afterwards. And it's been advocated recently to promote weight loss and to help with type 2 diabetes or even with heart disease. So Pam, what do you think about it? Do you think it's another fad diet? Is it effective? What's your take on that?
Well, first, let's discuss the three most common intermittent patterns, their effectiveness and their side effects. So briefly, the three most used intermittent patterns are the alternate day fasting, which consists of basically alternating. So you're fasting for one day and then you're eating for the second day. The day when you're fasting, you're not eating any beverage or any food that contains calories. And then on the second day, when you're eating regularly, you can eat whatever you want. No restriction on what you eat. They would say try to be as healthy as possible and stay within the normal healthy limits. The second one is modified fasting, in which you have to cut down on your total caloric intake to reach approximately 500 calories per day. This is I think the hardest of them all, because although you're eating every day, the amount that you're eating is really minimal, and you get 2 normal days per week on this plan. The third one is time restricted fasting. This type of fasting is the easiest to follow in general because it only requires the person following it to restrict their eating during a certain period of time, usually 16 hours of fasting and then 8 hours of eating. That's easy because most of the time, most of these 16 hours are spent during the night, so people usually just skip breakfast and continue with their day regularly. For some people, it has been easier to understand and commit to intermittent fasting, and that's because you don't actually have to do any calorie counting. However, both types of diets have proven to have similar effects when it comes to weight loss on the long term. And that's because most people who do restrictive plans and fasting, such as intermittent fasting, end up eating more on days when they are actually allowed to eat or during hours when they're allowed to eat. This is why it's always important to have proper guidance and proper support from a registered practitioner if you ever choose to adopt such a diet plan.
I totally agree with you, Pam. Let's talk a bit about the side effects of following this type of diet. So basically, in the beginning, when you do that, you might feel that your concentration has decreased, that you're having hunger pangs, or you become hangry, basically. Or even, let's say, you would feel like irritated, low on energy, and all that. And this is basically due to the fasting effect on your body, which is basically starving your body and using your body fat stores instead of glucose or something that you get initially from food immediately as a source of energy. So when your body is using your fat storage as a source of energy, it releases ketone bodies, and ketone bodies are the primary source of energy when you're starving yourself. Now, ketone bodies have shown to have neuroprotective benefits, and this is why it's been used to treat epilepsy or even concentration problems, brain problems, memory loss, and all that. But that does not happen initially. Your body has to get used to the way of it metabolizing your fat and using these ketone bodies to be able to give you that energy. Otherwise, it's not going to be that effective. Now, another problem is that even that some health claims say that it's really good for heart disease or let's say for type 2 diabetes, this is not really because of the fasting. It's basically because you're restricting your caloric intake, and restricting your calories has shown to have positive effect on these health conditions.
So guys, let me sum this up for you real quickly. Intermittent fasting is still considered a fad diet, and that's because we still don't have enough research to prove that it doesn't have any side effects on the long term, especially when it comes to nutrient deficiencies and other health risks. It's still to date not recommended for pregnant, breastfeeding women, definitely people who have had or have eating disorders or disordered eating, and it's also not recommended for people who have diabetes. So if you do ever want to adopt such a plan, we recommend you have a professional following you, and definitely talk to your doctor if you are taking any medication or have any medical condition. We hope you have enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. See you.
See ya.
Bye.